Cotton was the major crop of the South, and it was essentially the linchpin of the Southern economy in that time. Um, the South did not develop much in the way of manufacturing capacity. Most of that was in the North and primarily in New England and in the large cities that were forming up in the North, like Chicago, Indianapolis, those areas. So the Southern economy depended on export, and the only thing that they could export was cotton. So for many years, the Southern economy was primarily agricultural. It's only been fairly recently that that has changed. During the Civil War, the South was blockaded and essentially lost their ability to export anything. There was some black market activity across the lines, but it was devastating to the South. It took 100 years essentially for the South to recover from that.
Actually, speaking of multiple cotton plantations around here, you might know something about the pulp plantation.
The Southern economy was built on large plantations and then for export, and then little smaller farms that were subsistence and would sell their produce and that sort of thing to the local people. The large plantations were mostly run and owned by very wealthy individuals who were well educated and thought big. One of those was James K. Polk. James K. Polk was from central Tennessee and had been president of the United States. He had multiple plantations, and one of his plantations was located just north of Grenada. It's actually in Yalobusha County, but the Polk plantation was quite extensive, and President Polk and his wife would come down and visit here, although they did not maintain a permanent residence here. They had an overseer and farm manager, and it was, I think, several thousand acres of the Polk plantation. There is a cemetery on the Polk plantation where you can go still today and see the graves going back into the 1850s.
Would that be mostly slaves, do you think?
Some of them are. Most of the slave graves were marked with a wooden headstone, and as such did not survive very long. In this particular cemetery on the Polk plantation, there are some that are marked, and you can still see them, although most of them are from family members of overseers and that sort of thing.